Hi guys, I'm back. I just did the general read for you guys, so check it out if you'd like. All my information is below if you would like to talk to me about anything or have a session with me. My music is out. My CD is it's Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames, and that's available in most places, iTunes and Google Play and Amazon. What did I say? CD Baby, Google Play, Amazon, and iTunes. Or just anything else I do. If you want just a card read, or if you want your numbers done, if there's something that I haven't listed on my website, please let me know. Just email. Everything is below, twinflames3344.com or at gmail.com. So I'm going to get right into the oracle cards. The Ascension deck here. So take a deep breath, you guys. It is May 8th, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Take a deep breath. Okay. So we're going with God today, Source, Creator. Came right up. And that's interesting. Palace Athena came up yesterday in my read. That was the first card out. I have two there, and then one more. Okay, so the Sun is number 10 at the bottom of the deck. So the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and you can read that if you like. Okay, so that's the underlying energy of the Sun, so get out in the sun. It definitely will activate you, send you messages and codes, but also just make you feel good. The one that first came out, Palace Athena, I will read to you. That's 48, which is the 8 of Cups. Walking away or within, to find peace, to find what's really going to make you happy. Pallas Athena is known as the goddess of truth and wisdom. She's lord of karma for the 4th ray, and 4s came up a lot today, and holds the sword of truth to show humanity the way. Although she wields her sword for the highest ideals and divine truth, she prefers to use wisdom to settle disputes. Your guidance is to follow her example. See the higher perspective in all areas of conflict, draw on your abundance of wisdom and tact to communicate with everyone concerned, and use the sword of truth to point the divine way forward. The affirmation is, I use the sword of truth to lead the way. Okay, so to be truthful, but always lead with your heart. It came up yesterday. I'm trying to remember what it came up to in reference to. I'm not going to read all the cards, but I'll show you the others. The other came up in 2, and then I got another one also. So Buddha came up 33, so 33 came up as one of the numbers as well today. The Christ vibration and the 7 of Wands. Standing up for yourself without being defensive. So that's talking about what Pallas Athena was just talking about too. Be in your truth, but don't be cruel. You can be firm if you need to be, but walk away and always make sure you do it with love, and when that's no longer possible, walk away from the situation. So you also have the Sphinx, number 20, which is judgment. The affirmation for that is, I connect to the God force within the Sphinx. So again, you can read these on your own if you'd like to, okay? So we have 1, 2, and then one more. So again, we have 4. So this is Thoth came up. Okay, he always likes to bring in some humor into the situation. And that's 31, especially with 31 of the 5 of Wands, because that's that expansion energy of conflict or change. It's also what helps you with freedom. My life and my health are in perfect harmony. My life and my health are in perfect harmony. Well, definitely in the read today was coming up. It's so important about your health to make sure your kidneys and livers are functioning well, because they are your body's transmuters. So if you're drinking alcohol, it's not going to help, because your liver is going to go into shutdown mode to protect the whole. So that's why it kills the liver off. But you can't live without your liver. So it's about being kind to yourself. It's like a temporary fix, but then makes you worse after, and then overall is always going to be taxing on your body. So be good to your transmuters, your natural ones, your liver and your kidneys. And again, we have 4 of the Emperor. Let go of control issues. 1, 2, 1. So we have the Magician. It's also that high energy of 1, 2, 1, going from the Magician to the High Priestess and back to the Magician again. And there may be some feminines who have two men actually vying for their attention. And the sun is the underlying energy of the masculine. Alright, so let's get into... Since they came up, I'm going to go into Pallas Athena. I've actually never connected with Pallas Athena before. And we'll bring up Thoth, too, for our comic relief. And Buddha came up too with the Christ vibration. So if Buddha or Jesus wants to come up, I'll put them third. So if something third comes up, we'll know. So it's Pallas Athena, Thoth, and then Buddha, or Jesus. Okay, take a deep breath, you guys. Clear and align. So it's only beautiful, organic, love and diamond light. So this May 8, 2019, for everyone watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And we're asking Pallas Athena. Wants to come right out. Thoth, and we do have a third. Oh, we have two. So who came up first? I said Buddha and Jesus, I believe. I came up there. Okay, so the bottom is Orphan reversed. Okay. So let's see what we're getting. So normally if I would get it upright, you know, orphan issues of feeling alone or abandoned would come up, but reversed is the underlying energy of you're no longer, you're not alone. So you now know that, which is good. I'm also getting no child left behind. Alright, so the first two we got here for Pallas Athena are galactic and forgiveness reversed. So there's some unforgiveness here. Okay, so you might want to look to the stars for some guidance, and the kite's coming up again, and the diamond light. I'm getting Little Dipper and Big Dipper, so between parents and children maybe. Somebody may be dipping into something they shouldn't be dipping into, whether it's anything, money, candy, alcohol. Someone might have issues with someone from a galactic existence that they haven't forgiven them for. Or when someone's like up in the clouds, like, you know, being in another world, like in a sense here though, that someone can't forgive that. They're very unforgiving of that. Because they're very logical and fixed in their beliefs. And they don't understand why someone's always got their head in the clouds, that kind of personality. So obviously it's just these personalities clash and they maybe shouldn't be together. But either way, it's about unforgiveness and needing to know, you know, you have to forgive everybody, if not for them, for you. That's what it is to be unconditional love. You must forgive. And it's not always easy right away, but you'll get there. It's all about Pallas Athena coming through here, about being in your truth, but doing it with love overall, you know. What should she say exactly? She prefers to use wisdom as opposed to wielding her sword, about truth, right? So she will wield her sword of truth if she needs to, but she'd rather deal with it in a wise way and using her words wisely. So do everything you can, but, you know, bring up the point of truth if you need to, especially when it comes to unforgiveness. Then we have Thoth. He's not very, he's supposed to be here for comic relief. That doesn't look very funny to me. It looks very romantic. So what is your point here, Thoth? To always bring humor into your love life, and that's what keeps it good. Allowing it to blossom when it should, and to close up when it... I'm paralleling because I just planted some bulbs a little earlier today. So the roses are bringing up the bulbs being planted to allow them to open in their natural timing. You can't force a flower to open when it's not ready. So be forgiving in that sense as well. And bring humor into your relationship to ease each other into the situation. It's always about not using force, but allowing others to bloom. Thank you, Thoth. That was very nice and light. All right, so we have Buddha as monk or nun. Okay. So I don't know if you may have a wound with monk or nun issue or a connection to that religion, but about having to give up anything completely, to be alone, to not have sex, or to starve on certain days. It's also bringing up prayer, though, how important it is to keep the closed circuit, but then also open it to give to others. Okay, this helps contain your energies when you're meditating or in prayer, but then to open up yourself and your heart to use those energies to share with others, to connect any cords that are keeping you in a place of lack, or feeling like, any promises you've made in past lives, or, commitments, that kind of thing. To make sure to remember to cut those cords. Oh, and I'm bringing call to bring up the pinkies too. So there's a couple things that are coming up. That they're the children, right? The little ones. Don't forget the little ones. But also, I read this in my energy book for heart attacks. So someone, a little boy, knew instinctually when someone went down with a heart attack to bite on the end of the pinky, because that's the energy connection to the heart. And it revived him when no one else knew what to do. So that was important that came up. So you might want to learn about energy, the energy lines of the body. And this works even too, you can't bite in air if there's nothing there, but even when people are missing limbs, you still can do energy work where the limb would have been. So it's very interesting to read about, actually. This is coming up from Buddha, and I'm bringing up the monks also because you might want to experience hanging out with a monk for a day, just to understand where they come from, their peacefulness. That it's not about sacrifice for them, that this is their love, right? Their dedication to it, to their meditation and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be really cool to go to Tibet and hang out with the monks. So I've listened to other people talk about that. I feel very honored to have been able to experience that, but when I was in Italy, when I was in my 20s, I was in a backroom mass with a blue-eyed, brown-eyed monk and two girls sitting meditating on the floor in a private mass with me and my ex at the time. But it's a very spiritual experience because they're such deeply spiritual people. And Buddha is saying, and some of us have bellies too, that are nice to rub. But you notice here, let me show you this guy here. I have some pieces that are mine, but also my parents, because my dad used to get gifts from all over the world. So look how joyful he is. So Buddha was just asking me to show him. Because look how happy he is. He loves himself just as he is. Okay. Then we have from Jesus here. We got two cards. Leaving or travel reversed, and high priest or priestess reversed. Both reversed. So these two come up a lot for us. What am I getting today? that don't want you to use the etheric realms too much. I know that as a given. You know, there's a lot of grounding needed right now. Ground, ground, ground. I'm getting to bringing Mary Magdalene out of the cave. So we want to ground. So I was asking, like, is there any reason people shouldn't be in caves right now? Because that would be very grounding, right? It was really more the energy here of them saying, you know, we're bringing Mary Magdalene out of the cage where maybe she felt she needed to hide or be alone. That was the only way she could find peace. Letting go of Akashic Records, Egypt, the funnel, the hourglass, the sands of time. Is now cut off. Like, it's showing me like one half of the hourglass, the top, but where it goes down the middle and the small part is just a pyramid now. There's nowhere else for it to go. There's no time lapse. And also that Egypt and those timelines they're stuck in time. It's history, the Akashic Records. It's saying to set the past free. It's reminding me too. Jesus was just bringing up for me, when I was 8 years old, my brothers had an opportunity to go visit with both of my sets of grandparents, so they were sending me to do the same. So my dad was going to go on the Metro liner with me, which I'd never been on before, so it was exciting. And I had my big suitcase. And so we took the train to my grandmother's and my grandfather's house. And when we got off the train, I dropped my big suitcase into the pit of the train well. So that was, obviously when you're 8 years old, that's a big deal. But that's what it was taking me back to. It was very sad for me because I went to visit my mom's parents first, and then I was going to go to my dad's. But because I got so homesick at my mom's parents, I never got to go stay with my dad's parents. And then my dad's dad passed before I could ever, he passed when I was 8 years old. So I never got to stay with him. And he was my favorite. He was just a very loving presence. And then he ended up not being my biological father, which we didn't find out until about 10 years ago. My dad just went rambling on like, oh, he wasn't my real dad. And he didn't know until his mother passed away. She let him know on her deathbed that he wasn't his real biological father, that his biological father was a Russian Orthodox that she had met before the war. So obviously a Russian Orthodox and a Jew weren't going to be able to come together. So obviously my grandfather must have loved her very much because he married her when she was pregnant with my father. But they were bringing that up for me to tell, so I'm telling you. I'm getting from that too. You don't know until you know. So why worry about it in the meantime? Let it all go. If it's meant to come up, it will. And if it's not, it won't. You don't need to worry about all that stuff. Let it just fall away, like the sands of time in the hourglass. So are the days of our lives. Alright, let's see here. And it's funny, the way the cards came out, it was 2112. So it comes up like a capital I. I am presence. I am present. That's what they're telling you. You are a gift. That was the message. Alright, now we're going to go into Journey of Love. So take another deep breath. Today is May 8, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Alright, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Who are we asking? Just Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena. Excuse me, just trying to get comfortable here. Pallas Athena. Okay, just the one card. I need to count. Just two. Two? Oh, there's more coming. Nope, 2. 1, 2, and 3. They're all going to fall. The bottom of the deck is the Christ flame of 31. The 31 comes up again, and Christ is coming up here, but this is like the energy of the crucifixion. 31, expansion energy. The first card that came out from Pallas Athena is 54. Beautiful. 54 is the Page of Swords, which came up in the read today. Could definitely be a child, but someone who likes to talk a lot, or is very curious and wants information. Earth Angel is very, the colors in this card are so beautiful. It's like the rainbow. It's showing you as the gift that you are, all the colors that fall off of you, that you can tap into at any time. That's your Page of Swords, your curiosity about the world that you live in. And I'm going to read that one to you. The other ones that came up, so this is perfect. We have Cross the Waters, 23, which is the King of Wands, who did come up with the King of Pentacles in the read today, and then 13 of Gifts Received, which I just said, you guys, are the gifts, so they're confirming that. Gifts Received, 13, Transformation, Death, Transition, Change. King of Wands. And again, 23 is a number, another 5, which the 31 just came up. And another 4, and then a 9. 4 and 49 came up yesterday. And then the 3 that came up were Heartfire number 1 is 2211. So taking a leap of faith to justice, which is just truth and balance. We have Heartfire, and we have Hidden Beauty number 45, which is the 5 of Cups. Okay. So don't be sad. Allow your beauty to come out. And then here we have Towering Magnificence, which is 30, which is the 4 of Wands, or the union energy, which is funny because I took a picture outside today and I was guided to take a picture of my next door neighbor's address, which is 30. So you may be hiding out at home in a little bit of sorrow with your magician embodiment. And then we have 1, 2, 3, jump. Just do it. It's like, you know, when you're afraid to first go into the water for lessons. 1, 2, 3, jump. Don't think about it, just do it. Gifts Received, Across the Water. It's funny, I just brought up water. So across the waters, just jump. And if you need to travel, don't be afraid, just jump. To receive your gifts. So some of you may be called to travel somewhere to receive a gift. And then Earth Angel, which then as I put the cards down, they're exactly like the pyramid that was showing me was only half of the hourglass. So the upside down pyramid came up again here. Right? So the feminine energy of Earth Angel, which I'm going to read to you now. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to bring up here. I have green and blue together. So that's an important color combination, green and blue. So that's heart and throat. So speak from your heart. And then this one is really just about not hiding who you are, the beauty of who you are. Know that you're beautiful. Right? Because they have kind of, Across the Waters has kind of dimmed colors in it. And then we've Hidden Beauty, which is kind of gray and ivory. It's not even black and white. And then we have Heartfire, you know, the real passion that's in you. To not dim it. To show your true beauty and be proud of it. Not to sacrifice, too, from the Christ energy coming up. I'm going to read Earth Angel 54. See what wants to come up. Okay, Earth Angel. Earth Angel, you carry the world in your robes and heaven in your hair. You bring me a special gift now. So here's gift again, reminding you what the gift you are. responding to my prayer. Though sometimes I may feel that I'm struggling or alone, you come to me now and carry me into my heart, and you bring me home. Even from the darkest depths I rise up to meet your light and spirits connecting. I cannot be separated from the divine. I cannot be separated from the light. This oracle brings a message of divine guidance. You have an angel with you, watching over you and assisting you in response to your heart's call for help, love, and protection for you and your beloveds. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Keep praying each day from your heart and know you're safely carried on the journey of love. If you've been worrying about a loved one, know that this protection extends to them as well. You're asked to pray more and worry less, and that came up as well, to not worry, allowing love to be. Thank you for walking with me. Before you climbed up here, I was afraid. I had risked everything by holding out my hand. And now, as I share your joy and excitement at being a friend, I realize I may have to run to catch up with you. Okay? So that's a really good closing message there. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get some sun. Be good to yourself. Be joyful. Rise and be loved.